We've got another proposed trade to react to. A full article in the YouTube description down below. Jets-Bucs draft day trade proposal. We talk about it. Boy Green Daily starts now.
I'm gonna lose my gosh darn bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Let's go!
Put your seatbelts on. Get ready for the ride. We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Paul Esden Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your bleeping podcast, people. Again, we're live every single day at 7:30 in the morning. Plus, we have other shows, including today. We'll be live at 3 o'clock with a special draft analyst breaking down all of the offensive prospects and answering the offensive prospect questions at 3 o'clock on Thursday. That same draft analyst, Ryan Roberts, will join us to talk about the defensive prospects and some of the top defensive questions in this draft. Real quick, everybody, we got a contest, a raffle going on. Let's show it up here on the big board. The official 2025 Jets draft hat, the official 2025 Jets draft shirt from there in Green Bay, and the movie Draft Day. If you guys would like a chance to win all of these fun prizes, all you have to do is submit a raffle ticket, and you can do that in a variety of ways. Down in the YouTube description down below of every video, including this one, you can join the Boy Green Coffee Club. That is our YouTube membership group. It's only $2.99. You support the show, and you get a raffle ticket to win this contest. Again, raffle tickets can be submitted through April 15th. On April 16th, we'll pick that winner, and then we will send all of these wonderful prizes to whoever wins it. And I can't wait. So hopefully, you guys get involved. I highly recommend everyone who watches this show at least buys one raffle ticket so you have a chance. You never know what can happen when the wheel spins with all the results of it. We have our top 5 leaderboard down below in the scrolling ticker down there. So shout out to our top 5 that have gifted the most raffle tickets so far this month. Led, of course, by none other than A-Step10, who has 58 raffle tickets. He's in first place. J-Boys in second place with 51 raffle tickets. Devin and Dick Chimneys Burner and Jimmy Jets are all tied in third place with 10 raffle tickets. For Lillian Big D has 8 raffle tickets. And finally, Ed Vargas and Truman Dumel have 5 raffle tickets, rounding up the top 5. Now, folks, is this weird? Should I put on? Okay, I'll put on the hat. I'm so sorry. I'll put on the hat. I see it's weird for everybody here. Okay, yeah. Let's do this immediately. That felt very strange. Okay, there we go. Okay, the hat's back on, people. The hat's back on. Okay, I apologize. I know that was I know that was strange. I know that was odd. Anywho, let's get in. Yeah, Boy Green is back. Boy Green is back. Paul's got the hat. I just had a haircut, so I said, maybe we'll mix it up. And immediately everyone's like, no hat, no hat, no hat. What's happening? So I apologize. The hat's back on. So let's get into it. Here is the proposed trade. And again, you guys can continue to send in your raffle tickets and memberships throughout the show. We will talk about them. Throw it up on the big board. This is from our friends over at Badlands, Dalvin Osorio. Okay, proposed this trade between the New York Jets and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Here's how the trade works. The Jets would go from 7th overall to 19th overall. So the Bucs would receive the 7th overall pick. The Jets would receive the 19th overall pick. That's a first-round pick swap. They'd get the Tampa Bay Buccaneers second rounder. That's 53 overall. They'd get the Bucs fourth rounder this year, 121 overall, and they'd pick up a 2020 second-round draft choice. Now, I'll tell you this. The thing that is most interesting about some of this to me is that a lot of people immediately say, whoa, 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 whoa. If we're going to be dropping back this far, I want a first round pick, some people will say. And when you look at all the combination of picks, there's a way to get to a future first rounder here, but obviously you get a lot less on the overall package. So that sort of has to be considered when you're talking about it. But everyone seems to be super interested in the potential for a trade back scenario. Now, here's the thing that kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies when you drop back this far, is that you drop into a different tier of prospect when you go from 7, there's only 6 players getting picked ahead of us, to 19, 18 players are getting picked ahead. And while there's a lot of players I like in that range, we'll also reveal the mock draft that Osorio picked for the New York Jets with all these new picks with a 4-round mock. And I think a couple of our people out in the audience will like some of the picks that were made there. I'll give some shout outs. And when you break down the value, I'm a big NFL draft value chart guy. The 7th overall pick is worth 1,500 points. The 19th overall pick for the Bucs is 875. And then you add up their other point totals. 53 overall is 370 points. Number 121 overall is 52 points. In a future second rounder, I was taught back in the day is basically the equivalent value of a mid-second round pick, but I've heard others say that it's a round later. So either way, we could sort of debate about that. But basically, this value means the Bucs would overpay by about a 3rd-round pick. So this is the Jets, quote-unquote, winning the trade. And I want to talk about a lot of these trade-back scenarios as we get closer to the draft that people throw out there in the universe is stuff we could consider. Because first off, it changes the level of prospect we're talking about. So we'll talk about different prospects that could land with the Jets. I find that very important. And then sort of walking through this process, which is interesting. Let me go through some of the instant reactions. Gucci Finesse says, do it and take a Emeka Ibuka. Thanks for being a Boy Green Coffee Club member, Gucci. I love Ibuka. I would love that. Zach Quinn says, wow, I'm not opposed to that value. Yeah, again, you win it by a 3rd-round value. Gucci back saying you can get 4 starters with this. And boy, did the Jets need him, because this would increase the quantity of picks for the New York Jets, getting another top 53 pick, because then the Jets would have 19. They'd have 42. They'd have 53. You obviously still have 73. You have 110. You have 121. That's a lot of ammo. And you could package those picks and move back up again. I mean, there's a lot of optionality here if you choose to do that. Plus, a little tucked away in the night, the 2026 2, which, again, that could be incredibly valuable in a variety of circumstances. Ricky says, that's further back than I'd like, but it's a good deal. One I doubt the Bucs would make. Interesting. I've had some people say they doubt the Bucs would make it. I'd rather say they would to take it, which means I guess it's the perfect trade. Ricky says 16 with Arizona is the furthest I go back personally. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Once you go back too far, you miss out on a tier of prospect, which concerns me a little because, again, we're going to get into Osorio's mock draft with this and some of the picks that are available, but yeah. Gucci says Loveland, Banks, Ibuka, Grant, Tyleek will all still be on the board. Very likely. Mike Green, some guesses of who it could be. Bubble Badshaw says you win the draft by taking everyone from Arkansas. I'll keep that in mind. All right, so here's the mock element here of this draft. The Jets jumping from 7 to 19, they would land, and Hep, wherever you are, let's pour one out. We'll do the chimes for all the picks here. Here you go. 19th overall, the New York Jets in this mock draft scenario would take wide receiver Matthew Golden. Okay, there you go, Hep. Pour one out, buddy. They've given you the player that you've wanted. He is a speedster, incredibly talented. Here is Osorio's mini write-up on him. Golden offers a good contrast to Garrett Wilson, both downfield contested catch guys, brings an element of speed that mirrors Jameson Williams in Detroit. He's a more polished wide receiver, though, and will contribute next year for a team badly in need of some juice on offense. There you go. So 19th overall, the Jets would get in this mock draft trade scenario. You get none other than Matthew Golden. Now, let's get froggy here because, again, I've got an article in the YouTube description down below. Ricky says that would make me very happy. So, we've got Ricky. We've got Ricky on board. Love it. Here's the other one. Here's who the Jets are taking with the 42nd overall pick of the second round, according to this mock. Alabama quarterback Jaylen Milroe. Now let's take a timeout. Boop, 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 boop. T.O. on Boy Green Daily. I get a couple of those each half. Let me call a quick timeout there. Here's what I want to throw out there. I was talking with Drew Beatty. We had him on the show yesterday. Thank you guys so much for all the compliments. Drew Beatty's great. I love having him on the show. Before the show, I was talking to Drew. We were doing a pre-production meeting. I was talking to Drew. And I said, Drew, does the news over the weekend mean what I think it means? And in case you guys missed it, Alabama quarterback Jaylen Milroe was invited to the NFL draft in Green Bay and accepted that invite. And I'm like, oh, odd. Because normally people only accept invites that think they're going to be first-round picks, right? They're going to be on camera. They get to hold the jersey. They get to bro hug the commish. What does Jaylen Milroe know that we don't? Because Jaylen Milroe was like a third or fourth round pick. And I thought if anyone got frisky, it would be here, right? 42 is a random example. That a team that really liked Jaylen would say, I know he's a third or fourth, but we're taking him in the second. Taking him in the first. Oh, my. So, in this mock, Jaylen Milroe's on the board at 42, but will he be on the board in there? Why did he get invited to the NFL draft? Again, I ask, does Jaylen Milroe know something we don't? And now my cogs are spinning on the radio yesterday. I'm like, now wait just a second. Cleveland Browns' offensive coordinator is Tommy Rees. Tommy Rees came from Alabama, where he worked with Jaylen Milroe. Are the Browns going to take Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter and then spin around either in the second round of pick 33 or trade up from 33 to go get Jaylen Milroe? Is that the move in the 2025 NFL draft? Is it Pittsburgh who went out to dinner with Jaylen Milroe at 21? Are they moving up for Jaylen? Like, what is happening here? What is happening? So this is the part that gets me going. Now, wait just a moment. Whoa, Nelly. What's happening? Ricky was not a fan of Jaylen Milroe. Neither is Incel, who says, what a waste. That's where all of a sudden the cogs are spinning. Is that where we get crazy? Alan says, Jaylen Milroe in round one is bananas. But you people tell me, does it mean anything, or am I overreacting to Jaylen Milroe getting invited to the draft and accepting it? Why would he openly subject himself to the cameras for a potential day one slide, we'll call it, even though that's what I thought he was going to be? I thought he was a third-round pick, maybe a second-round pick. And I'd be like, oh, okay, that sort of makes sense, I guess. You sort of see the potential, and here we go. But I got a weird feeling Jaylen Milroe knows something we don't. I'm just saying we should keep an eye on that. Anywho, Badshaw says, what do you mean, you people? Well, you people know who you are. You people. Incel says, conspiracy theory time. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what it is, but sort of got my brain spinning. All right, and now the Jets picked up an extra second-round draft choice, obviously with this Bucs mock draft trade. So at number 53 overall, an extra second. Don't let Drew Beatty know this was the pick, but Harold Fannin Jr., the tight end out of Bowling Green, 3 siblings, do a jig, buddy. He was the pick with the second of 2 second-round picks of the New York Jets in this mock draft scenario. And here's the write-up from Dalvin. Another weapon in the pass game for the Jets who need that desperately around Garrett Wilson. Fannin Jr. is one of my favorite prospects in this class, and while he leaves much to be desired in the run block game, his skills as a pass catcher are strong already, and he'd help Justin Fields. That just goes to show you the polarizing opinions on some of these prospects in this class. Drew Beatty, says he would take Harold Fannin Jr. like in the 5th round. We have him going here in the 2nd round, with some polarizing opinions on both sides. Hey, I want a tight end, man, and Harold Fannin Jr. just had one of these insane seasons that we've ever seen from a college football player. Sort of interesting. Mitch Staff on YouTube says, Fields and Milroe would be a crazy RPO offense. Yeah, if you draft Milroe, how do you not get him on the field in certain packages? He had like 20-something rushing touchdowns last year, for Pete's sake. Yeah. Jack, Jack, says the writing's on the wall for Milroe. Alan says this is a brutal mock draft. Well, it's part of the situation, I guess. Yeah. That'd be interesting. Okay. All right. A lot of people think this is a bad mock. Excellent. Well, let's keep going. Why not? This is just a 4-round mock, so we'll wrap up here shortly with just a few picks. Let's go back to the mock draft times. With the 73rd overall pick, this is the Jets' third-round draft selection. He has them taking Texas safety Andrew Makuba. And wonderful. The Jets need another starting safety. I like Makuba. I actually like a lot of safeties in this draft. Makes a lot of sense. There's no write-up for the Makuba pick. Makes a ton of sense, though. Pair Andrew Makuba with Andre Sisco, and let's go to frickin' town. Plus, I think it would be even better if this can happen, that we have Tony Adams in a more reserved third safety role. I think that would probably be a more comfortable place for Tony. Although, like I said, he has a lot of starting experience. Here are the dates on Makuba. He measured in at the NFL Combine at 5'11", 186 pounds. Okay. Ran the 40, 4.45, excuse me, as well. He started his career, born in Zimbabwe, excuse me. He immigrated to America at 9 years old. Clemson product, okay, for his first 3 years before he transferred over to Texas. He tied for 4th in the FBS with 5 picks last year. Here's the little write-up from Lance Erline. Quote, 4-year starter who plays the game with instincts and awareness of a player who has seen a lot of football. Makuba has the athleticism to play in the slot, but is best when he's able to read the field as a robber and uses instincts, burst, and ball skills to make plays. He moves efficiently in coverage, but that efficiency can get away from him in run support, where he races in too hot and misses tackles. Makuba possesses the character, physicality, and playmaking instincts that will draw NFL teams to him as a future starter. Andrew Makuba, there in the 3rd round for the New York Jets. Man, everyone is getting an immediate F with this mock draft. By the way, this is not my mock, so I want to make that very clear here. Yeah. Oh, Indy Jets. We're getting a YouTube super chat, and every time we get a super chat, we hear from my beautiful daughter, Zariah Luna.
Wow.
Man, you guys are brutal on these mocks, which is hilarious. Indy Jets with a $2 super chat. Thanks, pal. Ridiculous mock. I'm assuming it means the most ridiculous mock yet. Stevie Wonder could see that. Good night. Okay. Indy Jets, thank you for letting your feelings known on the subject matter. You're just $1 away from another raffle ticket, buddy, so I appreciate that. Thank you. I have you down on the bulletin board here. All right, let's. We have no other path than to trudge forward. Let's finish off this mock with the couple of 4th round picks here. Okay, the Jets have their own 4th round pick, and then the one they picked up for the Buccaneers. So without further ado, let's finish this puppy off. Let's go. It's mock draft time. With the 110th overall pick, that is the Jets' own 4th round draft selection, they take Indiana defensive tackle C.J. West. C.J. West is who they took here in the 4th round to add him to the pile. Finally, you add some Brutus beefcake here on the interior. Boy, did the Jets friggin' need it. I like obviously the offensive help, other picks, if you guys missed it. Matthew Golden at wide receiver, Jaylen Milroe at quarterback, Harold Fannin Jr. at tight end, Andrew Makuba at safety, and then C.J. West here, the Indiana defensive tackle. He's 6'1", 316 pounds. That's what he measured into the combine. Had a sub-5 second 40-yard dash with all that weight at 4.95. Spent the first 4 years of his career here at Kent State. Here's the write-up from Lance Erline, NFL draft analyst. Quote, 5th-year senior with 3 seasons as a full-time starter at Kent State and 1 at Indiana. West benefited from an extremely active gaming front that created playmaking opportunities for him, but he was also willing to do the dirty work inside that scheme. He plays with adequate hand and foot quicknesses and quick to diagnose a play. A lack of length and leverage at the point of attack might tie him to a one-gapping scheme as a pro. The sack totals are light, but he has enough athletic ability to compete as a rusher on single blocks. West has day 3 value as a likely 3 technique backup. So there you go. That is the story on CJ West, defensive tackle. There you go. Beautiful. Ricky says Golden, Makuba, and West are all AG-type guys and great picks. The rest is trash and waste, Ricky New York says. Okay, there you go. Again, I appreciate the honesty from you guys. That's beautiful. I appreciate that. Yes, this is Badlands. This is Dalvin Osorio of Badlands. Yes. He's the one who made this mock. Yes, that is true. One more 4th-round pick to get to, and then we'll move on. With the 121st overall pick, this is the extra 4th rounder the Jets got from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in this mock draft scenario. They select Oklahoma State running back Ollie Gordon II. Here's the quote, a little blurb from Dalvin. The Jets will have a decision to make on Breece Hall, and I've made my feelings clear on what they should do. In preparation for that decision, the Jets need to add another body into the RB room, and Ollie Gordon II is 1 year removed from being one of the best running backs in college football. 2024-2025 was a rough one for him, but he could end up being the steal of the draft at a deep running back class, given his production, home run ability, and already well-developed pass protection game. There you go on Ollie, oi, 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 Ollie Gordon here happening as well. Okay. Talented kid. And I'm looking forward to highlighting some of your guys' comments here in just a moment. Here are the measurables for Ollie as he measured in at the NFL Combine. 6'1", 226 pounds. There's some Brutus beefcake here. Now, the 40-yard dash, 4.61. That is slow as molasses, but nonetheless, here he is. Here's the write-up here from Lance Erline. Big workload back with a skill set that requires a physical downhill run scheme. Gordon is tight-hipped and forced to run linear tracks. He plays with adequate decisiveness and interior vision, but lacks the agility to cut sharply or slip tackles in tight quarters. When he gets going downhill, he becomes a battering ram, slamming through tackles and adding tough yards after contact. He's good in the screen game, could improve his protection in time. His 2024 production fell off, though no fault of his own. Gordon is a big physical back who could attract day 2 interest from teams looking to add a bruiser to their 2-back system. Sounds a little Braylon Allen-ish, quite frankly, but neither here nor there. Those are the picks in this mock draft, baby. Taylor Sterling says at 4'6" doesn't sound like he's doing a lot of running. Oh, God, you guys are funny. There you go. Dade says, hey, check the 2023 tape. And I think that'll give you a better story, it seems. There you go. All right, so there's the mock. There's the 4-round mock, and that it is. June says he's all mocked out. Well, more mocks are coming, I'm sure. Phantom Green and White says this mock deserves to be in a dumpster. Good Lord. Okay, there you go. I appreciate you guys. Honesty is key. Honesty is key. There you go. Jet Jar said, good morning. Just woke up, listened to the mock, going back to sleep. Right, there you go. That's fair. So appreciate that. Thank you, Badlands, for that. Also, here's the other thing I wanted to throw up here. So feel free, you guys can continue to react to that mock draft. But folks, yesterday we mentioned at the beginning of the show, but obviously we had Drew Beatty on, so we're talking draft. But yesterday the Jets reported for the start of off-season programs. That happened yesterday. AG at the annual league meetings was asked, like, what is he hoping to get out of this phase 1 of the offseason? I want to roll this clip. This is Aaron Glenn last week at the annual league meetings.
Aaron, I think you guys get back in the building in a week for the offseason program.
Yeah.
What do you hope to get out of that kind of extra time you have as a new head coach? What's the objective of those kind of first few weeks with the team?
And building our culture and building our environment, and that building is the most important thing right now to me.
Boy, would I love some of that action, culture, things of that nature, building building it from the ground up. All of those very important pieces of the puzzle. That from AG, our leader. Let me just explain for those who don't know how this offseason sort of works. Phase 1 of the offseason is voluntary. Quote, voluntary offseason workout programs are intended to provide training, teaching, and physical conditioning for players. As per Article 21 of the Collective Bargaining Agreement, each club's official voluntary 9-week offseason program is conducted in 3 phases. And by the way, here are all the dates for all of those varying phases here. I'll walk you through them. Obviously, the Jets just reported yesterday. That was April 7th. Voluntary minicamp is the week of the draft. It's April 21st through the 23rd. OTAs start in late May. It's May 20th to the 22nd, then May 28th to the 30th, and then June 2nd to June 5th. And then finally, the final phase of the offseason before we get to training camp is mandatory minicamp, which is June 10th to June 12th. For anyone going on any possible foreign trips, I just want to kind of give you a heads up on that a couple months in advance, if I might. So those are the phases of the offseason. Those are the phases of the offseason. After phase 1, we reach phase 2. That's individual or group instruction and drills, as well as perfect play drills. Plays with offense players lining up across from defensive players, conducted in a walkthrough pace. There's no live contact or team-on-team drills permitted specifically. And live contact is not permitted during phase 3 of the offseason. Teams may conduct a total of 10 days of OTAs, which will be coming up later in the process. All that from the NFL Media Group. Hey now, Egypt, anyone? Hey, I'll allow that. I'll let that fly. Different strokes, different folks. Dade, every draft Paul put up, y'all going to say it's no good unless it's your buddy. Maybe. There could be. I see that there's mostly negative, but a few positive splashes. I like that. And Johnny Boy on the kicker train, I guess you need one of those. Yeah. J-Boy says, somebody needs to be fired over that shit, Mock. Good night. Okay. I appreciate you guys letting your feelings be known. Well, you guys can continue to do that. Oh, June is saying, has anyone seen Boy Green's prom pic? Dude was sharper than James Bond. Okay. Normally, only people in the Discord get to see this, but I'll give you guys a sneak peek because my mom's in the Discord, and so is my dad. And Discord, to try to give you guys, a scope of what's really going on here. Let me pull this up. Right quick. Let me see. The Discord, by the way, you have access to the Discord channel if you're a Boy Green Coffee Club member. That's true. If you're a Boy Green Coffee Club member, you get access to our Discord where we talk about all kinds of things well beyond. So let's throw this up on the screen. Here you go. By the request of June. Here's what happened. Here, let's throw this up. This is from our Discord. Here we go. There you go. That is Boy Green. It's Boy Green right there with the aviators and the suit. And that is my prom date. That is us. And yes, I look as short as I am. That's 100% true. Yeah. Look at that young buck. And not a lot of beard. Let me see if I can sort of zoom in on this. Yeah. Let's see what I can do here. All right, there you go. Here's an even better picture. Okay, 1 second here. Let me flip it so you guys can see old Boy Green here. For those that want to, some people probably don't. All right, there you go. Let's show this up on the screen. There you go. There you go, baby. Look at that handsome hunk with a lot less beard back in the day. I kind of had like this Jack Sparrow thing going on, like a mustache and a goatee combo for a while. So that thing sort of held strong, and then the beard out of nowhere came up. So that's true. So if you're on the Discord, you'll get random embarrassing or non-embarrassing photos of me in the Discord from all walks of life. My mom and dad are in there. We've got a bunch of great Jet fans in there. Philium, June, Badshaw, Mother effing Chew, Jared B. I mean, we got everybody in there. So if you want access to the Discord channel and all the craziness that goes on there, you guys also get exclusives like I'll let you know different guests that are coming up on the show before the general public does, and all kinds of other cool perks. Again, just join the Boy Green Coffee Club. It's $2.99 a month. You get to support the channel if you like the show or like me. You get access to the Discord. It's basically you have access to text me. You can send in questions for our guests, and there's all kinds of other perks, unlocking of our emojis. Like I said, random photos just like this. Look at Paul. Yeah, baby. The Aviator game was strong, young man. Very strong. Booyah. Thank you, June. Appreciate you, pal. Yeah, baby. Yeah, that's those were the days. Those were the days. Yeah. Jared B says Paul taking a screenshot of his screensaver. No, thankfully, everything all ended up working out for the best. I ended up meeting my fiance many years later, and here we are. 007. Johnny Boy Ash was my date, 6'8". I wish I could say that because then that would make me feel better. But she was not. Hep says, "What's up with the sunglasses?" I just thought it would look cool. Yeah. Why didn't you take the sunglasses off? Again, I thought it would look cool. I apparently not. Apparently that didn't hit. But yeah, that was it. Ricky says, "Johnny, she was 5'6". Yeah, maybe. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, no, it was 4'8". I have no idea. Jet Jar says, "Is she standing on a milk carton, or are you 4'11"? Yeah, I was a baby, 4'2", maybe. Brian says, 127 in the room, only 30 likes. Yeah, we got 400 people in the room across all of our social media portals. So make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. So feel free to do that. That's a free way to contribute. JR says she's cute. Thank you very much. J-Boy says the glasses made it better. Thank you. NY Jets FL said, describe your prom night, please. All right, here we go. I haven't told anything of this prom night in some time, but let's do it, and then we'll open up the phone lines, wrap up the show. Excuse me. So that girl that I brought to the prom was my crush in high school. I was totally head over here. She had like the spider piercings and stuff and things of that nature. So she was totally my crush in high school. But I didn't think I had any chance, basically. And then I just went like, well, you know what? Shoot your shot at prom. That's your best chance. And I asked her the prom, and then she said yes. I'm like, I was like surprised she said yes. And then, we had a great time. There's all those, the whatever music, I won't be able to name whatever the rave music was back in the day. So that was nice. Got to go to prom. It was underwater themed. So we got like, there was fish and, water things going on for the prom. Very nice. To try to probably help deter any craziness, they hosted some like big party at like a school controlled function. So probably so you wouldn't do crazy reckless things on your own. And they had like money. I don't know what the machine's called where you go in and there's money blowing around and you can just catch as much money as you want in the little like vacuum tube. Yeah, so it was a crazy time. Long story short, so that was a crazy cool night, amazing, and it was one of a kind, one of a kind. So, yep. I will tell you. Here's another one. Here's another random story. This isn't from prom. This is like 8th grade, whatever. It's like your transition from intermediate school to high school. There's like one final dance, and I don't know why I did this. We had like a German foreign exchange student and then myself, and we went to the prom without dates. And then somehow while we were there, we both said, I don't know if I can't find that picture fast enough. I won't have it. It's probably like in a photo album back here in like one of the drawers or something. But we both decided to be like bouncers to the entry point of the dance. Again, remember I'm like 4'5", so I don't really know what was going on there. But anywho, it was me and the German foreign exchange student were standing at the door. And as people came through, we like fake checked IDs and fake check stuff and went in. And then by the end of the night, I was able to, I was able to have like, there's a picture of me and like 3 or 4 girls at the photo. So I look like this player, which I wasn't. Some people will accuse me of being, but that's neither here nor there. So there you go. That did happen. I played a bouncer at an 8th grade high school or middle school or whatever the hell it was. That's a good point. Anywho, Kevin Gilmore, let's get back to football. Who we drafted with your pick? 7th overall? Or are you a Bucs fan that somehow ended up on here? I'll assume 7. Again, I'd be fine with Armand Membu. I'd be fine with Tyler Warren. Who's the third guy? Mason Graham, I would love. But if you trade back, I think there's other pools of players I'd be cool with, like Emeka Ibuka, Matthew Golden. You know, it depends on where you are to what position we're talking about. But no, I think there's a lot of great options for the Jets. All right, without further ado, let me do this. Zach Quinn says, I like the video. Did you? Again, make sure you guys like the video. Dade says, I've been liked it. Okay, love it. Yeah, like the video, hit subscribe. That's for the best. Let's do this. Let's hit up HEP for a quick HEP song, and then we'll open up the phone lines next. You guys can feel free to call into the show and ask about God Knows Everything is on the table. More coming up here on Boy Green Daily.
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Talking Jets football, man. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. New York Jets Football Club. Offense, defense, special teams. Watch Jets football with Boy Green. J-E-T-S. Jets. Let's go.
You said it right there, Hep. Let's bleeping go. Make sure you guys, again, like the video, hit subscribe. And again, you guys only have a few days left, another week, as it were, to submit your raffle tickets for this contest to have a chance to win the Jets official draft hat, the Jets official draft shirt, and the greatest cinematic masterpiece of all time, Draft Day. Kevin Costner, Jennifer Gardner. And by the way, I watch this movie every single year on the Thursday first round of the NFL draft. It's become a tradition. I think the movie came out in 2014, so I've been doing it as long as it's been a DVD or available access. So it's been 10 years. So I love it. So, guys, feel free to submit your raffle tickets, get a chance for that. And also, as always, check out the Boy Green merch down in the YouTube description down below. Here's my grandpa with God rest his soul. Here's my grandpa showing off some of the Boy Green merch, which is all available in the YouTube description down below. Love you, Grandpa. Thank you for that as well. All right, let's do it. Let's go to the phone lines. We got Easy here on the show. What's up, Easy?
Good morning.
We might just need your mic. Yeah.
Good morning.
Ah, there you go. Good to hear from you, Easy.
Here I am. Yeah, I'm headed to Apex, North Carolina. And then I got to go to Cary. The top.
The top.
The Apex.
Oh, Easy. You make me chortle.
I chortle. That's kind of a sniveling laugh, isn't it? A chortle?
I don't know. I haven't really broken down. Yeah, it's some level of laugh. What level? I guess that is to each their
I
own.
read it in a story one time where they said, and he chortled. And I was like, it must have been some British guy wrote that crap.
Yeah, let me see. Let's get a... yeah, it says it's a laugh in a breathy, gleeful way, like a chuckle. So there you go.
Yeah, some goofy stuff.
Yeah, quite.
Yeah, this mock draft made me chortle.
Oh, in a good way or a bad way?
A bad way.
Oh, boy.
We're not going back down to 19. The furthest I could see us going back is to Dallas at 12, right? They're at 12?
They are at 12.
Like that?
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that would make sense. But, yeah, I like the return we got because we do get a second rounder next year.
Right.
Which, I'm all about
this year. Right.
Yeah. We swap positions and we get so we wind up with 2 seconds this year and 2 seconds next year, which is pretty good because you can package stuff. Like I said, we're just looking for a contingency plan in case Justin Fields doesn't work out. I'm hoping he does, and my gut feeling is that he will work out. But what happens if he's great for like 8-9 games and he gets hurt? That's the thing. It's not just is he going to figure it out and be good. Is he going to stay healthy? Because this league has a 100% injury rate. So
that is true.
Everyone that plays is going to get hurt. It's only to what degree and for how long. So in the best scenario, a team would have 2 first-round starters at every position, one being a 1A and then a 1B, you know? But, there aren't that many players to go around at this level. But that's what you try to do when you build your team, is to get a whole team of 1As and 1Bs. You don't want 1s and 3s. You want 1A and 1B. So
Yes. Yeah, I mean, that would probably be worst case scenarios of what you just talked about. I guess not worst case, because like Justin Fields could just be terrible, and that would be awful, I guess. But
I don't think he's going to be terrible. He's gotten
I
better
don't
every
either.
year.
I'm just saying worst case scenario of like he's just awful. You're like, crap, we're back in the quarterback mix again next year. But right, if he teases you 8 or 9 games, you're like, oh, this is amazing. You're like blows out his leg. And if he did it midway through the season, that would compromise him for the next year. And then what do you do at quarterback? So yeah, that would be tough. That'd be tough.
Unless one of the kids can step up. I mean, we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know how the kid from Florida State's actually doing. They say he's healthy enough to practice, but does he still have the moxie? You know. And then, of course, we have Adrian Martinez, who was a champion in the lesser league, but we got to see what he can put together in the offseason. And I'm sure they're going to, draft maybe another quarterback with one of our fifths just to bring in to, just a lunch pail guy to run some teams and stuff to see what he can do. They always bring in a couple of lunch pail guys at quarterback. Every year there's a guy in the squad that you never heard of. So
yeah, right. Every year.
The one thing I can say about the team so far this year is even though we've, in free agency got a lot of backups, I think we have a much better squad of backups this year than we've had the past two. I think our backup quality is much better. What would you say to that? And I'll let you go.
Yeah, and you just repeat the position one more time. I think you cut out there.
I said we have a much better selection of backup players at positions this year than we've had in the past couple, especially on the O-line. So what do you think of we have better backups this year so far. That's pretty much what we've built. We've built which I think they're trying to build after, Aaron Glenn being in Detroit last couple of years with all the injuries. I think he's trying to build a squad that's injury proof. So even though he's not getting maybe these top starters for all this money, he's trying to get the best damn backups money can buy, kind of, I mean, not overspending, but he's trying to get the highest quality.
Best bang for his buck.
Yeah,
I got you.
Yeah. He's trying to build up a backup team that can step in and not skip a beat. Or be almost as good because of his experience with all the injuries Detroit's had the past couple of years. So I want to know what your feeling is on that.
Well, I appreciate that, Easy. Yeah, I'll answer that. Let me first pull up and make sure I'm not missing anybody real quick. Free agents for 2020. Yeah, let me just pull this up, and then I'll just see. It'll put it together probably the free agents lost and free agents gained because I want to make sure I don't miss anybody. That the depth is better this year than it was before. Like, for instance, a couple of things of names, right? Like Brandon Echols, I thought was a really good backup corner, and now he's gone. So we're relying on unknown / whatever the draft is going to be. So it's sort of unfair to evaluate the full picture because they're not playing a game on Sunday. But let's go. Quarterback is basically the same. Again, whatever you consider Rodgers to Fields is whatever. Call that a wash, whatever you want to call that. I don't know what that's going to be yet, but Tyrod is your backup you feel good about. Running back is the same, so put that away. Wide receiver, again, what part of the season we're talking about? When we had Devontae Adams and everybody, or like the beginning of the year where we had questions? Tight end, I don't feel great about at all, but let's see what happens. The offensive line, I feel better about now than what it ended up being. So that one would be in there. Defensive line, again, there's still a lot in question, like Byron Coward and some of these other names out there. I mean, oh boy. Yeah, there's some questions. Safety, boy, there's some questions. I don't know if I would agree with that statement, Easy. Again, I would have to go back through the players to get a better sense of what that is. But let's go to the phone lines. Oh, okay, never mind. He dropped off there. But, yeah, the phone lines are open. That is youtube.com/boygreen25. We had Easy to go through it position by position. Because, like, you lost C.J. Mosley. Is Quincy coming back as a depth option? Yeah, there's just a lot of questions there that I would be pondering on the depth being better or not better. But again, it's like I said, it's sort of unfair because we have the full picture of last season. We had free agency, we had the draft, we had this, we had that, and going through that process. So, like, we don't have the full picture this time around. All right, let's go back to the phone lines here. Let's bring him on. Philium, FL Phil 98 here with a beautiful orange tone. Quite nice. What's up, Phil?
As for Florida last night,
Yeah, there you go. Gators,
um,
chomp chomp.
I still don't understand what happened on the last play. Like why the guy didn't grab the ball when it came loose.
How do you not get a shot off? Unbelievable.
Well, I didn't understand. Like when the ball came loose, and the guy was like standing there, and he could have grabbed it. I don't know.
Oh, you're talking about the initial guy, the first guy?
No, so when the guy from Florida kind of half went up for a shot and didn't really shoot, and the ball, it was like he bounced it, and I wasn't really sure if it was just the ball was deflected or whatever, but the ball bounced like right in front of him, and he kind of walled off the guy behind him instead of grabbing the ball. And I was like, "What?" I still don't understand why he didn't go after the ball.
Yeah,
now, I know there was a second or two left, and it still would have been a miracle to get a shot off, but I just didn't understand why he just kind of didn't go after the ball.
Yeah, so when a basketball player goes up and doesn't shoot the ball and then loses it, if he touches it again, that's an immediate violation and the other team gets the ball. So he went, oh crap, I went up, and he just shouldn't have jumped up. He should have just pump fake, but he went up, so he tried to wall it off and try to communicate telepathically to another player, please come get the ball, I can't touch it.
Right.
But I don't think it registered with the other player in enough time, because I think he was looking at it like you. Pick up the ball. Oh crap, he can't. And then it all fell apart. But how do you not get a shot off? Brutal.
It was amazing. And again, I know that rule. To me, it wasn't clear that it was like a shot attempt.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And at that point, literally, that's it. If you don't get a shot off, game over.
If the game's over anyway, why not? No, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So anyway, so that was just, I wasn't even going to mention it, but you brought up the shirt. The reason I actually called is, to talk about Breece Hall for like weeks over and over. What I've been saying from the get about Breece Hall is I don't see anybody giving us anything of value. All right. So that we can debate back and forth. Your guy was just on the other day talking about there's probably 35 draftable running backs. To me, I don't see why anybody would give up even a 3 for a guy they're going to have to pay if they keep him, when there's all these good running backs in the draft. I just don't see it. Secondly, the way I look at it is, this guy's playing for a contract. If Breece is ever going to be the old Breece, it's going to be this year. So let's ride him and see what we can do with him. By the way, there's no rules against extending him halfway through the season if we want to do that, right?
Of course.
Or if there's an injury to a team that needs a running back before the trading deadline, then maybe you can get something, right? So I know, to me, I just have never understood. There's people, Alan, I love you and I respect your opinion, but talking about getting the 51st pick I just don't see it. And I know he's kind of changed it to 85 now, but I don't see. Well, and to be fair, he said to 51, and we give him back a 5 or something like that.
Right. Swap it around. I got you.
I just have never seen it. And then the last thing is people say, well, if we keep him and we don't sign him, we get nothing for him. Are you going to let a 4th round pick potentially decide what you do here? If we lose the 4th rounder and get nothing for Breece, I can live with that. This is what am I always saying, Paul? You got to make tough decisions. So that's all I wanted to say.
Love it. Phil, thank you so much for joining us here on the show. Yeah, that's the thing, because the people that are in the trade Breece camp are like, hey, trade Breece Hall for insert pick, right? 2nd round, this pick. But if the draft is as deep as Drew Beatty said yesterday on the show, then who is trading for Breece, who's 23 and still super young, but are you getting a 5 for him? Do I want to get a 5 right now for Breece? Maybe I'd just rather keep Breece and ride it out and see what happens. But hey, different strokes, different folks. Back to the phone lines we go. Hep joined us here on the show. What's up, Hep?
I agree with Philly. I'm not trading Brees Hall for a used Band-Aid. But anyway, what about this guy Walker, the defensive end?
Walker. Jaylen Walker, are you talking about? The Georgia kid?
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
Paul,
yeah.
I gotta go. I got emergency on the call. I
Oh,
gotta go.
no, that's okay. Hep, but thank you so much. Appreciate it. Yeah, on Jaylen Walker, there are varying opinions on Jaylen Walker. He played a little edge. He played a little off-ball linebacker. He's done a little bit of both. Depends on where you see him. If you see him as an off-ball linebacker, is he like a Quincy Williams replacement if you did that? If you see him as an edge, how does that fit in? So it's sort of interesting, a chess piecey kind of thing. And Rich Cimini called him like a dark horse or something to consider for the Jets at 7 because AG's a defensive guy, and he may want his piece about it. So, it depends. Anywho, Joe Walker's really interesting. So, again, I would go with like a cajillion other needs before Jaylen Walker, but, hey, different strokes, different folks, I guess. All right. Let's go back to the phone lines. We've got the legend himself. We got nearly 500 people in the room. So like the video, hit subscribe, baby. Thank you so much. We've got the legend, June, the GM, here on the program. Good
What's
morning,
going
June.
on, Paul? So I decided to call in after I heard Phil talk about the basketball situation. So I'm a former, like I told you, I played football and I played basketball.
Oh, please explain it. Yes.
So in the streets, what the young man did from Houston, we would have called it an up and down in the street.
Yes, thank you. That's a word that was escaping me.
The proper terminology that they would have called would have been a double dribble. Because
okay. Thank you. Yes.
Went up. When he came down, he knew I messed up. I can't shoot it. When he let it go, the minute he would have grabbed that board, he would have caught a double dribble on him. That's why he was trying to shield the guy off to let his teammate. This is what I didn't like about that whole situation.
Yeah.
In crunch time, I'm clearing out the space and giving it to my best player. They should have given it to the point guard, the kid Cryer, who was their best shooter, because Houston's not a good high-scoring team. The kid Cryer, the point guard, should have got the ball from the get-go. Go cook, win us the game. We live and die on you shooting.
100%.
It was a bad play call. I didn't like the way they played it. And like I said, once again, when he's up in the air and he realizes I'm not shooting, he drops that ball. There's nothing he could have done. The minute he would have touched that ball, would have gone to Florida anyway. So that's why they lost the championship. It was a really good game. I think the Houston played with a lot of heart, great defense, but they made a couple of bad calls at the end of a couple of bad calls in terms talk about Sampson, the coach of Houston. He didn't call a good last minute of the game, and a lot of open shot for the young gunner out there who they call him the young Steph Curry. Let's relax. He's not that, but the young point guard from Florida. His name is not coming to me right now. But they gave him 2 wide open threes and he knocked them down like you're supposed to when you're a star.
Yeah. Well, June, thank you so much for calling in. That's the up and down. When you play basketball in the streets, that's 100%. I was just the words were escaping me when Philly brought it up, and I guess the official. That's also the other thing I didn't know is I know that's what we called it on the street. What do they call it? Double dribble. So that's what it would have been because after he went up. So no, thank you to June. For giving his takes on football and basketball. There we go. Thank you, June, for that. Appreciate that, pal. All right, let's go back to the phone lines here again. Keep those memberships flowing, baby, from the high heavens. And the support on the show has been great. Keep them cooking. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Neil Sr. here on the program. Neil, good morning.
How are you?
Hey, not too shabby. Yourself?
All right. If I was any better, I'd be you.
Well, that's true. But look at you in the Stokey. Okay, there you go.
I
the
just
proper
back
way.
from vacation too, man. I just had an
Nice.
amazing
Where'd you go?
vacation.
Anywhere crazy?
I went 7 days down in Punta Cana.
Oh, baby.
Lopasan, great place. I'd highly recommend it.
Terrific.
40th anniversary with my wife.
Oh, God bless. Congratulations.
How long is your dad married to your mom?
Oh, that's a good question. So let's see. What's that? Oh, since my birth. So, yeah, I guess I just got 31 years. So, 1993. So they just celebrated 31.
40 for me, dude. That's a big 40. Number.
Yeah, that's a massive number.
Dude, I was
40.
partying up. Dude, I was partying up like it was my honeymoon. You know, I hang out with like honeymooners when I go on these vacations. We're like, we go crazy, man. We drank a shit ton of liquor.
Yeah.
I had like 2 gout attacks on my tongue. When I drink a lot of liquor and eat a lot of seafood, I got like the only thing I have wrong with me is this gout thing. I started getting it like 2 years ago. And it's really gets bad with it when you drink a lot and when you're eating seafood.
Okay.
And it was giving me a little headache. Then I swung around on the way back. My son and one of my kids and the 2 grandkids are in Disney. So I swung back around to Disney on Saturday and spent 2 days there at Disney with them.
Nice.
Mainly to, pay for park tickets and character breakfast and all the other stuff for my grandkids. And then I came home.
Oh,
That
beautiful.
Disney is the biggest ripoff. I got to
yeah?
tell you. I've been there 18 times in my life.
Good Lord, man.
I swear to God. I am not
hell?
kidding. I was fortunate enough when I was very young. I made a lot of money on Wall Street, when in my 20s.
Oh,
and I used to take my kids to Disney all the time. We would go almost like every year or every 2 years and, and go. And back then it was a lot. 35 years ago, to stay in the Grand Floridian was $450 a night. That was 35 years ago. Now it's ridiculous. Let's put it this way. 6 of us, character breakfast at the Grand Floridian. Characters walking around.
Okay, nice.
Nothing
Okay.
special. $480 for breakfast.
Jesus. That seems aggressive.
I was like, you got to be kidding me. I was like, I didn't have words. I mean, the breakfast was delicious. I'm not getting me wrong. But, come on, man. And I want to tell you something.
Yeah.
What I didn't realize is when I got there, there's like 60% of the people that are in Disney don't kids, goes as couples. 60% is the statistic.
That's a large percentage. Yeah.
I'm like, who the hell would go with their wife without kids, put Mickey ears on, get signatured autographs from Mickey Mouse and shit and pay like that?
Yeah.
I mean, are you kidding me or what? I mean, it was, but again, you do it for the grandkids. My grandson, Papa Neil, I wanted characters at every meal. Come on. Let's the kids, he's 5. He was hugging every character, the autograph. What do you do? I mean, that's what you do for your kids and your grandkids. That's just what life.
Of course.
But I'm back. I have a couple of competitions on that Jake show, so I made the Final 4 yesterday.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
nice.
We'll see what happens. I got to go against King Lowski tomorrow. I appreciate everybody.
A tough one. Yeah,
it's a tough one. Lowski and I are passionate Jets fans.
That's the word I would use. Yeah.
And Lowski's got some decibels in his Jet chant. I could get louder. I will say this to you: if I had because I noticed when he gets that. Unless it's the phone when he's calling in.
That could be. Yeah, right.
When he does the chant, it sounds like it's breaking up like a little bit because it's so loud.
I would imagine it's just the loudness in his phone not being able to handle it. Yeah.
But I will say this to you, Paul.
Sure.
Even at my age, with my cigar smoking and everything, I have no doubt in my mind that if we had a decibel off, like who would make the highest decibels in the Jet chant, I would smash him.
Ooh.
I would smash him. Honestly, I had it when I'll tell you a quick thing. I'm at Dick's Sporting Goods with my son.
All right.
And we're picking out a Jet jersey. This was like 20 years ago.
Okay.
And we're picking a Jet jersey out for the game. And they have a contest going on in Dick's Sporting Goods. And it's who could yell the biggest Jet chant. I swear.
Oh, boy. Okay.
So my son, Dad, he was like 10. Dad, let's go. You got to say the Jet chant, Dad. Come on, let's go. I'm like, come on, let's go. I got to get out of here, whatever. So he goes, okay. So they have a thing. It was like a stoplight, like at a race car track,
Oh, yeah. Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Green, green, all the way to the top, right? It was like thing, right? And I'm listening to 2 or 3. They got about halfway up, then 3/4 of the way up, and a couple got to the lower end. I go on there. The first breath I made, the thing hit the top spot. It right through my Jet chant. right
Wow.
through. Okay, we got a winner. I got a $50 gift certificate. So my son, who at the time was like 15, goes, Dad, I want to do it.
Yeah.
He also hit the top of the thing.
Wow, runs in the family. Okay.
Well, my daughter was a soprano and sung at Carnegie Hall. So we all have very loud voices. I do.
Sure.
When I am at the game, this is the people who sit in front of me. This is what they do.
Mm-hmm.
They cover their ears because that's how loud I get at the game. So
yeah.
I will say, Lowski's loud, but I could be louder. But anyhow,
good luck, man.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. You know, we had a lot of fun with it. You know, and everything. And you know, look, I love your show. I love the OGs because we have a lot of good OGs on the show.
Damn straight.
You know, Phil, Flart, everybody. You know, in June, I got to tell you, man, he's an up and comer. June has really become a super good caller.
Okay.
Zip cracks me up. You know, everybody cracks me up on your show. I just love it. It's just a great way to wake up in the morning. And, you know, we're all like, hey, who's coughing and who's this? And we're giving all our grumpy takes on the Jets. And you're sitting there going, oh, God. I know what you're thinking. Is, oh, here we go.
I plead the fifth on what I'm thinking. But
I get it. I know what you're thinking. But, you know, at least you're not, you know, a lot of guys on the Jake show, all the young guys, they blast us, man, as OGs.
That's disrespectful.
They blast us, you know, take your Geritol, I don't like that. You know, you can't be ageist. You got to have a little respect. I was always taught when I was young, you respect your elders.
Damn straight, 100%.
We have something you don't have. It's called experience.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why, you know, I'm on the Final Four is because I am the most experienced at one thing that's not good, and that's the pain that I've had to endure.
The battle scars.
7 goddamn years. With my battle scars are unmatched in any of these chats. You know, again, I will put my fandom against anybody. I started watching them when I was 6. I was at the 68 championship game. My dad took me, and I haven't missed a snap. Preseason, postseason, season ticket holder, no events. My family knows no events, no weddings, no anything. I will not be in attendance. And anybody that's in my family is a Jet fan. My daughter-in-law was from Boston, big Patriot and Boston Bruin fans. She wears Jet shirts on Sunday, Jet jerseys. That's it. You're either in or you're out.
And now you're being paid for it here with all of your investment, and now you're cashing it in here on this magical Final Four run deal.
What do I get? I don't get anything out of that.
Well, don't you win some massive prize or something? Yeah.
This might be a win for me. You know, it's a win. You know, I'm not used to wins when the name Jets is in front of it. So it would be nice to have a Jet win.
Yes. Fingers crossed.
Anyway, I think I lost you. Did I lose you just now? Oh, here. Anyhow, have a great day.
Thanks,
Anybody that's on the chat tomorrow, if you want to come,
please do
vote for me. I really appreciate it. And if not, enjoy the season. And let's get ready for the draft. Look, I'm not a draft guy. I really don't know. I don't follow college football all that much. I'm into my Mets right now, but even the Mets don't do it for me in comparison to the Jets. You know, to me, a preseason Jet game takes precedence over a Met game unless it's the playoff. But oddly enough, all I could add is the need.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the need is one more off. Is when you look at this draft, the need is offensive linemen. That's it. You really, I don't say it's the need, but that's where we could really solidify this team because we're going to be a ground and pound team. That's what Detroit does. And you want to block, you want to protect, and the tight ends. This kid looks great from Penn State, but we had another Penn State tight end we took way back when Kyle Brady. That bust. Everybody from Penn State. Blair Thomas. Oh,
I know. It's Christian Hackenberg. Come on.
Oh, jeez. Stop. You're going to make me bleed again. Oh, the only good draft pick we got from Penn State was who? You got to know the answer to this.
Say that one more time. You cut out.
draft pick we ever got from Penn State, and probably the only good one.
The best draft pick we ever got from Penn State and the only good one. Who am I missing?
You're waiting for the chat to help you on this one?
No, I don't care about the chat.
Greg Buttle. Greg Buttle.
Oh my God! How did I not get that immediately? Brutal. And how are other people getting Micah Parsons and Saquon Barkley? We're getting Blair Thomas and God, good Lord. Yeah, where's the?
That's why I'm afraid. And when we draft, look, Garrett broke a long string of us taking horrible wide receivers, right?
Right. Well, yeah, it's been a long time.
I mean, when is the last time we took a tight end? Mickey Schuler, who was our best tight end draft? Oh, who was the guy?
Well, I enjoyed, again, I don't think he's going to ring through the halls like other people, but I really appreciated Dustin Keller, the first round draft.
Yes, Keller was great, no doubt.
I really enjoyed him.
Good. He was good. Mark Sanchez, look, that's the thing. We're going to have a team like the Sanchez 9-10 Jets. And Keller was a big part of that 9-10
Of course.
team. So a tight end is really going to be integral in our offensive scheme.
I would assume
because that's and again, Fields likes tight ends, but how much of a difference really is there? In this draft, from what I'm listening to, it seems like there's 3 or 4 really good tight ends that are not. In other words, the disparity between the first guy and the fourth guy is not like this. What do you think, Paul? Is that true?
That's probably true, I would say, when you evaluate the roster, and appreciate the call, Neil. Paul put up the – oh, boy. Oh, is everyone still debating that? Ah, Jesus. Paul put up the travel double dribble. Yeah, I've seen – oh, boy, June and Philium are going at it here. To me, I thought the Houston kid went to put up a shot and then, didn't go through with it. He's like, jeez. And then he was effed. That's what I thought. And again, my brain couldn't remember the up and down. And then apparently the official term is double dribble. I just went I knew that he couldn't touch the ball, but I'm like, geez, hopefully one of his teammates understands it, turns into a whole thing. The only reason though, why I can't put it up is I'm about to leave. So we're about to dip here. I'll take another call here, but we won't have time to go through the full poll. So I apologize. So we won't be able to do that. Let's go one more caller. We're back on travel. Nate's bringing us through. Look at the beautiful weather going on here. What's up, Nate?
It looks nice, but it's pretty cold. I know you got to go. I'll be quick, Paul. I also was triggered in, so to speak, by the basketball talk. It was a great game last night.
Yeah,
and a tremendous play by the coach at the end of the game. But, so June, I know I like to call him instead. He played basketball. We all played basketball. I don't know if you know, so I run my own non-for-profit basketball organization in the city. But before I did that,
cool.
I was an ABO referee. So I actually understand the rules. Anyway, that is never called
give us the truth then. Yeah, give us
that is never called a double dribble. And if you're in the hood and you jump and you let go of the ball, no one's calling that an up and down. An up and down is when you're going to shoot the ball, and when your feet, you think your pivot foot lifts off the ground a little, or maybe somehow he jumps and lands with the ball. Someone does like a jump stop, which is a very popular term, and they call it a hop step in the hood. If June would know what a hop step is, some people might call that an up and down with the ball. When you release the ball and throw it on the ground while you're up in the air and then grab the ball, it's called a travel. But by the rule book, it's called a travel, and the hood is called a travel. It's always called a travel. It's not called the double dribble in the hood, and officially it's not called. It's not called an up and down, and officially it's not called a double dribble.
So help me with this. What is just to make sure I'm in my, and I appreciate getting the ref insight here. What is an up and down then?
So an up and down is not an official term, but it is the hood term. Like I just explained, like a hop step. Someone does a hop step, which is kind of the legal jump stop, we would call it, where you're pushing off of 1 foot and then landing on 2. If you didn't land on 2 feet and you jumped and then landed staggered step 1-2. People might call that an up and down, or if you're pump faking, and sometimes you go up on your toes to pump fake, and sometimes someone said, oh, you went off the ground, that's an up and down. It's a travel. It's the same call. It's a travel. If it's an up and down, it's a travel. But it's when you're jumping in the air with the ball and then land with the ball again. So if you either got a jump stop, you have to leave on a live dribble, or off of 1 foot and land on 2. If you land on 2, that's your second step. But if an up and down, again, it's just that. It's usually called on what they call a hop step in the hood, when someone's doing that left to right push off, but they're really pushing off 1 foot and they're not legally landing on 2, someone will be like, that's an up and down. Or on a pump fake where someone's going on their toes and someone thinks that you actually lifted off the ground for the pump fake. They would call that an up and down as well. Both are legally called travels, though.
Okay.
Which would be a side out of bound possession to the opposite team. All violations, side out of bounds.
Perfect, Nate. Thanks for sharing that, man. Appreciate it.
Cheers. Have a good day at work, Paul.
Yeah, all right. Appreciate you, Nate. Yeah, okay. Thank you. The up and down, the one that I remembered it being is the last explanation that Nate gave where you pump fake and kind of, and then you go up, and then you're like, blank. And that's how you get it. But no, good to hear the basketball talk. So, okay, terrific. Thank you. Well, we'll be talking about this on the radio. I'll be hosting solo today with my intern. That is the Man Shout Show, Boy Green. So if any of you guys want to keep this conversation going, it'll be, again, the Man Shout Show, Boy Green on the Score 1260. You guys can feel free to call in and talk about that if you want to get even more in detail about it. The call-in line is 315-671-1260, 315-671-1260. I'll be on air from 10 to noon. I'm about to travel to the radio station right now. So, hey, maybe we'll jump over there. Should be fascinating. Thanks to the 500 people in the room. Like the video. Hit subscribe, baby. Can't wait. Again, we'll be back on the show live today with our draft analyst, Ryan Roberts, at 3 o'clock. So hopefully we will see you guys then. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in, and we'll see you again soon. And the comment section continues. We'll see you in the comment section, everybody.